That worked better than expected. Warning, the following contains actions performed by idiots. What you're about to view should not be taken as factual or educational. For further questions, please refer to your Google. What's up, guys? So I have just a couple things. I got a prime and then sand and dip, but I have all Saturday to be here at the shop. So I'm gonna try and bounce back and forth as best I have a lot of like drying intervals between the coats and dipping and all that. So I should have a good amount of time to knock some stuff out. So let me switch camera angles and I'll show you my game plan. So we talked about getting the front of the bug to kind of sit in this groove. Along with that, I think I'm gonna cut along this line here. The hardest part is gonna be making a straight line for these two to kind of meet up on. I'm gonna kind of bounce back and forth the idea of welding the bug to this. Cutting on this line would help that a lot. So if I cut along this line, get rid of all this, and then just flat plate this whole thing, but put it up flat against this straight line, and then up here there'll be some gap, and then I can fill that on top with some other metal, but just get this whole side completely flat, and then we'll have a good starting point if we choose to weld that, and if not, we need to make this flat. Anyways, it'll just make stuff easier. So I'm gonna get going on that. Other than doing this, I don't really know what's next. Like this part's gonna get kind of weird. This whole thing's weird, but I don't really know how this is gonna go, but I'm gonna start here and then just kind of stare at it and brainstorm a little more, and we'll see where this takes us. Okay, quick update for you guys. So back here, it was hitting the shock tower, so I cut all this away. Obviously, we're gonna go back to that. This was not in the plans, but I like kind of where it's heading. This will fit inside
the MR2-ness. So I don't really know what's gonna happen now, but I like where this is going. So what I'm trying to do now is basically get the wheel wells straight. This can go in more, but this piece right here, this lower chunk, is hitting the spring, so I'm gonna trim the part that goes in. I'm gonna trim that off and then try and slide that in more and see how far in that'll go, and then kind of see what I need to do in the rear. So I may have mentioned this before, I may not have. The wheelbase of the MR2 and the Bug are identical. I think it's 104.5 for both. So that's nice because I can line the wheel wells up perfectly centered. They're not now, I don't know where they're at, but that'll be a nice starting point. The next hard thing, so I'm bouncing back and forth between welding this to the MR2 or not. The hard part about not having the sides connected is this windshield needs to stay straight. So if this gets it all crooked, the cheap custom windshield idea is out the door, and then we're gonna have to get expensive. So I need to make sure this is perfectly straight with the other side. So I don't really know how to get to that point yet. So, okay, so the new day, what you just watched was yesterday. Had to do some hydro dipping, still have to do some today. I got slammed, I'm leaving town in a week, and everybody and their mom brought me stuff, so I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth. So the game plan, what I'm thinking, is I'm gonna do what I did to the driver's side, to the passenger side, try and slide the Bug in. Then once I have both of them on there, I'm gonna get them both straight, measure, and kind of see how far we actually have to widen it. And then from there, once it's on the car, then I'll get it straight with each other and then kind of just go one step at a time. I don't really, I say this all the time. If I think about something too much, I'll talk myself out of it. So I'm just gonna get going on the other side and then try and get the other side of the Bug body on, and then just kind of see how it looks, see how we can actually structure it underneath. I am really liking the idea of just welding the two cars together. We'll get fancy with some bracing and some brackets and such, but that'll really make the MR2 structure strong again and make the Bug strong again. And then we'll do further reinforcements and we'll do a cage and tie it all together. It should work out pretty good. So I'm gonna get going on the other side, and we're just gonna see what happens and go from there and face problems as we come across them. There's probably gonna be a lot, so I'm gonna get going on that. Okay, so that side is all cut up. What I'm thinking, just to help me, I don't know if this is going to be permanent or not, I'm going to put a flat plate along this, probably a little more towards the bottom because I don't think it's tall enough. I think it's about 3 inches. I'm going to run that to about here since the back of the Bug hangs off. Then I'm going to weld like an L angle iron right here just so the back of the Bug can stay on here by itself. So I'm going to do that on both sides. All that's pretty much going to allow me to do is set the Bug in there and on there, and then I can get a better look at it moving forward and back easier by myself, and it'll just, that might be permanent, I don't know yet, but I'm just gonna kind of tack it strong enough to hold the back of the Bug and then go from there. So got the metal hanging out right there. I'm gonna get to cutting that and we'll see how this works. That worked better than expected. So we got the front just kind of hanging out in there. And then, let me get this in there. You got the rear. Okay, so judge all you want. The metal was really dirty right there, so the welds or whatever, but they are strong. So most of that rear is sitting on that lip. And then clearance back here is pretty decent. So obviously the whole thing is tilted in. Yeah, you could definitely tell. But I think this is a good game plan. This at least, okay, so I did say I was just gonna attack that, and then I was thinking about it as I was doing it, and I was like, this should work. I mean, like, beautifully. So I measured and I tried to get, let's see here. I tried to get this lip flush with the inside of up in here where that is gonna sit. So I'm gonna trim some of this crap off. So up here where it's inside, it sits flush. And then this should all be pretty dang close, because I took measurements all the way across this, and then I got pretty much an average line. So if back here and up there is off, it is going to be by a very, very small amount. So I like that. I'm going to weld this a little more, and then definitely going to do some more structure back here on the plate. And then we'll see, like, I'll probably do another one of these L's down here, and just get this nice and strong. And then I don't know yet, but I'd like to tie these two in together up here, especially like right there. I mean, maybe right from there to there, just all the way down. Like, just get this, make this one piece and make this rigid again. It'll make that rigid again, and then this will be good. And then we can start focusing on some of the other stuff. So I have to do some hydro dip work, but I'm very excited to show you guys this. And I'm out of time, so I'm gonna call the video here. Next video, obviously, I'm gonna do this other side like we said. I have like an hour and I have like 15 pieces to dip, so I'm running behind. So next video, we'll do this side, and then both sides of the body should be on. Then we can get them centered with the wheel wells front to back, and then actually measure what we need to space it out. Once we get the sides straight, we'll take that measurement and then reinforce it like we did while it was on the ground, but we'll do it on here, and it should be more permanent. I mean, I don't really want to take the body on and off again once we support it across, but we don't know what's going to happen. But I like that game plan. The K series we can bring up from the bottom of the MR2. I think that's how people normally do those motors anyways. What I am planning on doing before the body is permanent is reinforcing this, doing some supports from here to there. I would really like to just get the body where it's going to sit, and then take measurements and then put the main hoop on, just so we don't have to, because normally when you do a cage, you get everything in place, then you drill holes in the floor and you drop the cage so you can weld the top. If we don't have a roof, it'd be a lot easier to weld the top. So I'd kind of like to figure that out. We still have a lot of work to get to that point, but that's kind of in the back of my head. So yeah, this will be the end of the video. Let me know what you think about me welding the Bug to the MR2, where it's never going to come off again. Like I said, we could drop the motor. That was my biggest hope, to have the body removable, just make working on the engine easier. But the amount of time we will save here by just welding it instead of making on and off system, I think we'll probably be able to pull the motor 5 or 6 times with what we're saving here. So I think it's worth it. So let me know what you think about me welding it. Hopefully you guys can kind of have a better idea of what I'm envisioning now and kind of what the plan is. I love these projects because there hasn't been a plan this whole time, and as it progresses, just like, oh, we could do this, oh, we could do that, and it's starting to gain momentum. So I'll put this video up tonight. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll keep going throughout the week, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys.